Hello and welcome to Bonsai Druid. I'm Suzy and today I am going to repot a elm tree that I found in the backyard, dug it up I think 2 years ago, and put it in pumice in a pond basket and kept it like that for the last couple years. So I want to get it into some regular soil. It's a mix of organic and bonsai soil. So, and put it in another grow pot, or a actually this pot right here, for it to grow for a little while. I don't really think it needs another basket at the moment. I just wanted to see how the roots are developing, and I don't want to give it anything too deep. So this is plenty deep enough for what I want this tree to do. Currently, it's in this pond basket. So you can see the approximate size of the pond basket that it's in. Can I get you up there? I can't really see you. Can't move it the right way. There. The pond basket that it's in, and the pot that it's going to go into. You can see the soil level's about this high. So it's similar. It's just going to have better soil. I don't think I'm going to put it back in this pond basket. We'll see what the roots look like. That's a pretty good set of roots, I think, considering that when I pulled this out of my pond area, it was actually growing in a bunch of rock, so I had to sacrifice a lot of finer, smaller roots, but my goodness, it's got plenty of fine roots now. I don't even think I'm going to shake all this pumice loose. I don't know. There's going to be some trimming down there. Okay. So that's the roots. Let's see here. Let me get you in frame. There. I've got a root right here. It's way up here. Let's see if I can measure this off. Maybe this. Okay, so there's a root right here. There's some smaller roots below it, and then as you get lower down, it gets a little thicker. But a lot of the rest of the roots are descended down this taproot here, which coils around. So I'm going to say that a lot of this has got to go. So let's see. This root right here is looping around. See that? So it's got a nice lateral root growing off this way. It's got some other stuff further up here. Let's see if we can move these roots to the proper sides. They go. So I am liking that this root's right here. This one here, see right where it starts to bend this way? Oops, sorry. I am always out of frame. I've got a root right here going off this side. And if I cut it around this area, maybe a little lower for the moment, that might make a flatter root base. I would be losing a lot of this, but I need to anyway. I'll lift this one root out of the way, because I could save that root, maybe. We shall see. Ugh. Well, this is a tool that needs sharpening. Let's find a better one. That one is no better. Good grief. Yay. See, I think I could go up a little more. Make sure I don't cut things I don't want to cut. Okay, so I've got this little bit over here. This one's too high. So I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to take this one off. This is way too dried out up here. It's too. This one here is too high. Too high. Little tiny, scriggly, little fine ones. But I think I will leave this one at the moment. This one. And there are a few really fine ones over here. And I think that's about the best I could do. So, it's not a lot to go with. This one is still kind of high up. Yeah. I'm going to leave it for the moment. So that was a quick chop. Only took all this off. But that's because it was growing on like a crazy long squiggly taproot that was folding back on itself twice. And another kind of long scrawny one. So we got rid of those. Give a little spritz to these roots because they're a bit dry. And let's see, I put some mesh in the bottom of this pot. One more piece should do it. Now this is most likely going to be the same kind of little elm that my little wild elm is. A kind of elm that I don't know what it is. I know it's not an American elm. The trunk doesn't quite look like the horizon elm that I have growing in the backyard, but it might be somebody else's ornamental elm, like a Siberian elm, or I don't think it's a Chinese elm. I think it's like a Siberian elm or Zelkova. One of those two. So I'm going to put some of this random pumice in the bottom of this pot. This one's got a lot of organic material in it. It's probably a good thing. I'm going to add some of this because it looks a little bit light in the pumice department. Now, let's see here. Odd little root system, but it's okay. Considering it was a free tree, this one I happened to see in the art. Thought it would be something good to play with. There. Okay, I'm going to get just a little bit more soil. I think that should do it for soil. And again, I'm going to water this in really well. Get that soil really pushed in because there's not much to the root base here, and I want to make sure I don't have any big pockets right underneath the base of the trunk. Alright. So I took off this much root, about a hand's worth. Lots of really fine roots, so I'm pretty confident that it will make some more really fine roots, since it gets like practically no care other than water. And while it was in the pond basket in the pumice, a lot of times I just soaked it in my ornamental pond, so I got some really good water there. Made it pretty happy. I cut here and here, trimmed off some real twiggy dead stuff, doesn't need to be there, and I let it grow from here and see what it does. I mean, it's still kind of flexible in the future if I end up maybe wanting to wire it or see what happens. Maybe put some curviness into it. Or end up chopping it back and trying to make it into a smaller bonsai, shorter bonsai. Like I said, not sure what kind of elm this is going to be, but I'm assuming it's similar to my other ones. So they make pretty small leaves. I don't think they're Chinese elms, but they do make a pretty small leaf. And this one will either end up in one of the forests, or it might end up being a single tree. So that's another one of my random trees. Done and dusted in a pot, ready to grow some more this year. Hopefully it'll do really well, and I may even wire it. I may clip and grow, but it's already got a trunk about this long that I might need to do something with, or just let it get really big and worry about all that later. So thanks for spending a little time with me today here on Bonsai Druid, and I'll see you again for the next repot.